Favorite part of every Sunday. Josh Bell joining us now for another weekend, sharing some neat film events here in Las Vegas this week. Josh, always good to have you in.
Always good to be here. I just came from the Damn Short Film Festival in Boulder City, which was so much fun this weekend. So happy to talk about what's coming up in the coming week.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. You're always like in the community, which I appreciate.
I'm doing my best to support the local film scene.
Yes, which you do very, very well.
Thank you.
Let's start with a local filmmaker.
Yes,
Michael
exactly.
Keen's film The Head, which is it's interesting, and it's coming to the Millennium Fandom.
Yeah, it's not only is it coming to Millennium Fandom, where you can go see it for free on February 18th with Michael Keen there, but it's also available now on demand via Vimeo if you wanted to watch it at home. It's a weird one, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
It is a shot on VHS, like actual VHS kind of horror comedy. Michael Keen he's got an affinity for this weird cult stuff. You might see, I think my quote might have just flashed in the trailer that you're watching about the oddness of it. But if you are adventurous in terms of cult films, it premiered at the Sin City Horror Fest a few months ago, and now you can watch it among like-minded fans, or you can just watch it at home and kind of get on its wavelength.
Okay.
So, cool stuff. The head, there's a head. The guy falls in love with this plastic head and murders some people, and some other strange things happen. It's hard to explain, but it's
horror
something.
Comedy in the making. I love it. Yeah, an interesting story there. We're going to move on to a documentary called A Fine Line, which is about the gender disparities in the culinary industry. And this is a pretty cool event that UNLV is putting on this week.
Yeah, it's not only the film, so you can see this documentary. It's a new film about women in the culinary industry and the struggles they face and the women who have kind of broken through. It's played a lot of film festivals, and now they're giving it a big kind of premiere treatment here. Along with the film, there's going to be a whole panel discussion with some women in the local restaurant industry, as well as food, cocktails and bites from women chefs here in Vegas. So if you are a foodie, this is a whole packaged event at UNLV on the 18th. So it's a bit pricey. It starts at $30 for students, but you get a lot more than just watching a movie. It's a whole experience that evening.
Well, you had me at cocktails, small bites, featuring local women chefs. I love that.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to think about the culinary industry because the majority, I think, across the world really, women are primarily the people who cook the most food. But if you look at the gender of celebrity chefs, it's mostly men.
Right. I mean, there's a statistic, I think it's something like 7% of restaurant owners that they cite in that film are women, and yet half the graduates from culinary schools are women. So there's definitely a disparity there, and I think that's something they're going to explore in that film.
With a cocktail, some snacks, not a bad way to do it.
Loosen up and enjoy that statistic.
Exactly. Yes. Learning more every day. I love it. The Las Vegas Film Critics Society, which you are a part of, is presenting an award to a local filmmaker, right?
Yeah, Albert Pune is a local, but he's also a huge cult filmmaking figure. Made films like Cyborg and Nemesis and The Sword and the Sorcerer, and he's been living in Vegas for about a decade, making films locally here with local talent. So we're presenting him our Cinema Heritage Award, along with a preview of his newest film, Cyborg Overture, Angels and Demons. It's definitely cult filmmaking, but it's cool stuff. I think this is 56th film that he's made, so he's a long-running cult film figure since like late 70s, early 80s, and you can check that out for free at the Galaxy at the Boulevard Mall at noon on the 22nd of February, and I will be there, so you can come say hello to me too.
Hey, if the filmmaker isn't enough Josh Bell there, that is a reason to go.
Yes, it is.
Another documentary we're talking about this week, In Saturn's Rings, a science documentary. Pretty cool stuff here. Yeah,
this is a new documentary actually being distributed by a company here in Vegas, and the exclusive place you can see it right now is at the CSN Planetarium in North Las Vegas. It is a documentary about Saturn produced via 7.5 million images, real photos.
Wow.
This is all real stuff, not CGI, that was taken by satellites. It's narrated by LeVar Burton. So I've never watched a movie at the planetarium, but it's kind of on a dome above you, and it's an interesting experience, and that's playing on Fridays and Saturdays all the way through April 25th at CSN.
It'll put you into that feel of the universe,
yes,
right?
Very immersive, like you are the astronaut, I think is what they are advertising this movie as.
Astronaut Kostek, I love it. All right, real quick, the 35th anniversary of The Color Purple.
Yeah, classic film directed by Steven Spielberg, Oscar-winning, starring Whoopi Goldberg, back in theaters from TCM Big Screen Classics on the 23rd in a bunch of local theaters, so check that out if you haven't seen it.
Josh Bell, thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for
in
having
as
me.
always. All right, checking up after the break.